24 hours before it all flips, guys.
Massive event happening within 24 hours that will affect all markets, all risk on markets, including crypto and the stock market. Bitcoin is also bouncing right now. It's going up to 111,000. You can actually see we are approaching the bottom.
So isn't there a huge partnership with Swift and XRP in November? Rate cuts in ETF in October, all of this stuff that really makes sense for XRP. I'm definitely very excited when that happens.
Side of this range. So pay attention right now because this is kind of an important moment for Bitcoin. We'll look at the overall markets though. What was just announced too with the president announcing some US data is going to be on the blockchain. Let's talk about all this. I'm going to keep it nice and brief here for you. Try to get to the point pretty quickly. If you don't mind though, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. Also, if you want to trade crypto, try out BYDeFi. Now's the time to do it. We're at a very key point for Bitcoin. So if you want to start trading, sign up. There's no harm.
So look at this. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Right now, we are at the key point where the markets could flip, but this could push out for a bit longer. And I feel like the crypto regulation that I've been warning you guys, maybe I want to expand on that. Crypto XRP stuff that we're seeing right now is going to take much, much longer than people think. Like all this regulation that XRP is hoping for, it's not a 1 year plan. It's not like 1 year and then forget. It's a 5 to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 year plan. It's like realistically, it's like a 10-year plan for crypto. It's 5 years before we see any actual government updates like fully integrated in the crypto. Might take 2 or 3 years. But the good thing is XRP is preparing for it. So my opinion is I'm hopeful for XRP in the near future.
And cryptos that Trump owns, that are the companies that are related to crypto and the cryptos themselves that he owns. This will be interesting to see how this works, but a lot of people, myself included, think that more and more data is going to be published online on the blockchain. So I think this is a good step, right? Pretty interesting too that it's happening so quickly after the president came into office. I mean, we're talking about 7 months, which is pretty quick by government standards. Trump said, I will have a majority.
Yeah, the market's definitely improved, but that's also because, you know, just as the government was also changing, we saw some positive changes in the market. Like, you know, it's all connected. But I'm definitely very hopeful for XRP right now to majority in the Fed. Soon we have to lower interest rates. See, interest rate lower means we are getting up. But I'm worried about the bear market in 2026. If that happens, it's going to be a big problem.
In the Fed soon, we will have to lower interest rates. Still pushing for interest rate cuts. Of course, next month is the Fed rate decision that people think they're going to cut. They're actually going to cut finally. And this will be good for risk on assets, assuming that inflation doesn't come back. And this is, I think, why Trump tried to push Cookout, or why he's trying to push Cookout. He said yesterday that he was going to fire her, and she said, you don't have jurisdiction over me. I'm not going to be fired. So yeah, it looks like he's going to continue to try to assert dominance over
There's a lot of drama, but the reason why Trump wants, in my opinion, is because one, it's going to be good for real estate, and he owns a lot of real estate. Two, it's going to be good for crypto markets. And, you know, it's just like we've been hoping for this for a long time. We've been really hoping for a long time for interest rates to lower because that would get people more jobs and it would improve the economy. And we're still in this, like, you know, recession phase, basically, in terms of interest rates. It's, in my personal opinion, it's time to change them. But I don't work at Fed. And the Fed has hinted they might cut interest rates.
Fed, which is what I would have expected anyways, but it's interesting to see him put it so plainly. NVIDIA has earnings tomorrow. This is I'd say one of the most important, if not the most important companies in the market, because this is what all the large companies are spending money into. This is really the major growth path. In a lot of people's minds, AI is the major growth path for the top tech companies, which weigh down the majority of the stock market, right? They're the highest weighted. And for them to continue to grow aggressively, they need to invest in AI. They are investing in AI so that they can become more efficient and that they...
Like, this is the first cycle rally. But again, Nvidia is not the only thing that the government and countries need improvements. Next up is Ripple and the payment systems. I've been telling you guys. That's another thing that the governments, they need improvements in the stock markets.
They can have better margins. They can do more with less. They can make better decisions. And how do they invest in AI? Well, NVIDIA is a massive part of that. So NVIDIA has earnings tomorrow. Depending on what comes out, it will severely affect the risk on markets. It will affect the crypto market. It will also affect probably even more the stock market, right? NVIDIA is like 8% of the NASDAQ now. Their estimates are $45.5 billion in revenue for the quarter, which is up 50.
And just, XRP being bullish. Wow. Look, there's a lot of good stuff with XRP being bullish and all these companies being bullish. It still shows me that there is money in the market.
1.5% year over year. That's insane. The EPS is estimated at $1. So 47.1% year over year. These are incredible growth numbers. And we can see this from the top tech companies already that they have, NVIDIA announces after a lot of the other top tech companies, they are still aggressively pushing more and more money into AI. They continue to up guide it.
AI is the first thing, and basically payment processing the second thing of the huge bull run wave.
Up CapEx guidance. So for NVIDIA, I would expect them to have good earnings. The question is whether they can hit estimates, right? Because these are very lofty estimates. A lot of it will come down to guidance as well, right? Do they continue to project this kind of growth rate, or are they going to start growing slower? I've got to think at some point they're going to grow a little bit slower. Right? They can't grow 50% for the next 10 years. At least I don't think they could. But they're at $4.4 trillion now. Over the last 1 year, they're still up 44%.
So yeah, this just shows you that if the stock markets do good, usually historically it means that others will do good as well. This is why XRP can hold above its $3, is because crypto right now is still going strong. It's still getting stronger, and that's because the stock market is the main reason. Because if the stock market goes down, also Bitcoin goes down, right? So the demand for chips is still just as big. So this tells me technology is still valued nowadays.
This company is a monster. So everyone will be watching this tomorrow. Like I said, it will affect crypto as well, because a lot of hedge funds are now investing into crypto along with the stock market. So if the traditional market takes a big tumble, we could see crypto fall down as well. There's already a weakness though, and a lot of manipulation. So I would not be surprised if, NVIDIA came out and had good earnings, if people go risk on and we break out to the upside. Now,
this just tells you, like, bear markets, the start of bear markets does not start, being all green and being all bullish. It usually starts the price being the same, which I don't feel like is the same scenario with XRP. XRP is the same right now. It would go lower unless these whales kept buying. In my personal opinion, I see a lot of these whales buying below $3. Whenever we go, 2.75, a lot of people are complaining, or $5. We already saw whales buying back. And these whales, they are buying massive supplies. Why? Because they believe the prices will go up.
Bitcoin at 111,000, like I said, right on the bottom side of this trend line, the bottom side of this range. So I'd be watching this $111,000 level. Look at Ethereum too, having a pretty good day, up to almost 4,600 right now. Again, like, people are going risk on with Ethereum and continuously buying. Look at other altcoins, and it's pretty green across the board. One that I've been pretty outspoken about recently that I think is going to do really well here soon, especially when people go a little bit more risk on after after Ethereum. I think Solana could do well. It's at 197, just putting in higher lows and higher highs as well. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if there's anything that you're seeing in the market that I missed.
I think it's pretty clear that the markets are going to push for one final rally. And then 2026 is what I'm very worried at. And I will keep you updated that, guys. But it looks like that XRP is still in demand.
This is 100.
You know, it's still not very scary as we saw back in 2021 was a much bigger market crash. We're nowhere near that. So